This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk 106.7 FM and iTalk1067.com. Also brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Deemer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Comfort Fit Dentures, Summit Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, and Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports. And now, Sholo Ford presents high school basketball on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Welcome everybody to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com as we are the championship game of the Round Valley Round Ball Shootout Basketball Tournament, featuring two very good programs, especially over the last 5 years. The Pima Rough Riders against the ALCHESAY Falcons. I believe both defending state champions. If not, Pima was definitely at least the runner-up, but I know that they had about a 3-year run before that. We're going to run down our sponsors real quick before we go to our Ace Hardware Key to the Games. We have Sholo Ford, Ace Hardware, Comfort Fit Dentures, Deemer's Glass, Summit Healthcare, Honda Ski and Outdoor, NPC, Horn Auto, and Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. We're going to start out first of all with our Ace Hardware Keys to the Game. And tonight, I think our Ace Hardware Keys to the Games is going to be the transition game by both teams. You agree?
I agree. Both teams are really good on the transition. Pima, like you said, they're back-to-back. ALCHESAY is back-to-back. They are doing very well as far as they're doing very well. Pima, they're undefeated coming into today's game.
Yeah.
So it's like they say in girls basketball, if you teach your girls to rebound and do layups, man, you're going to probably win.
You have to be able to do that.
That's right.
And I think if they can, I think if either team can congest the middle and force the other team to take outside shots, I think that's going to be huge.
Absolutely. And both of these teams have proven that they have the outside shot. Even three-pointers for a girls' team, that's something that's very rare, but both of these teams have that threat. And we're watching it happen right now in the practice.
Absolutely. I think, too, with what kind of piggybacking off what you said, is they can shoot the three, but if there's a long rebound, both these teams can run the court and run the court very well.
Absolutely.
So that's our Ace Hardware Keys to the Game, and we're going to go now to our Summit Healthcare Injury Report. And as far as we know, I talked to the Coach Corona from Pima yesterday, and Coach Sanchez a very little bit this morning, and they both said they're healthy and ready to go. Their biggest thing right now is they're trying to find the right chemistry that's going to move them through the rest of the season, because they both plan on doing very well. ALCHESAY is going to have to compete with the Sholo Cougars, who are right now running through just about everybody. The Pima Rough Riders, I'm sure there's a private or a charter school out there that's going to contest them in some way, but Pima's been the class of the 2A program and the class of the Gila Valley in the girls programs for a few years now. And so this is our Summit Healthcare Injury Report as well as our Ace Hardware Keys to the Game. We're going to come back in just about 2 minutes to bring you the start of this contest. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable, always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Who sells the number one truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you. Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has...
How's that, Camden?
Number 15, Madison Gannon. Number 22, Sadie Richardson. Number 25, Ella Wilbeck. And number 43, Addison Hoop. Representing the light colors in the home team, how about Coach Sanchez? ALCHESAY Falcons. Help me welcome to the court, number 5, Jaslyn Rosie. Number 13, Katura Springer. Number 15, Henry Metru. 23, Alyssa Jim. And number 25, Ramona Gray. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for the Rough Riders and the ALCHESAY Falcons.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've turned it over the starting lineups. We're going to take over here on our broadcast on iTalk 106.7. We welcome those of you from White River, a little bit local to us, but we also welcome our friends in the Gila Valley supporting their Pima Rough Riders on our broadcast. I'm Aaron Hewins. I'm joined by Gail Gibbons. Eric Gibbons. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm joined by Eric Gibbons, and we are going to bring you some exciting action. Our referees for tonight are Jake Udall as our head referee, and Quinn Ashton and Cale Miller are our side referees. as the jump ball goes up, and we are underway here. The only one I don't really have, of course, is the first one to touch the ball, and that is number 13 for the Falcons. I'll try to get you a name here. That was our Northland Pioneer College tip-off. When it comes time to tip off your college education, tip it off at the college with the lowest tuition in the state of Arizona. That's Northland Pioneer College, with locations in Apache and Navajo County in the state of Arizona. As Jocelyn Nosey is going to bring the ball, and Nosey is going to be the feature player. I heard once from a coach that if you can stop Jocelyn Nosey, you can stop the ALCHESAY Falcons. However, that is going to be a tall order, as put up by that right there, as Nosey comes up and puts it back in. And Eric absolutely agrees with the same thing, as Jocelyn Nosey is, I believe she's a senior this year, so after watching her for 4 years, I'm sure she's going to go on to play somewhere else, and that gives the Falcons an early lead. Eric, you've been around a little bit and seen programs. What do you think about this ALCHESAY Falcons?
The ALCHESAY Falcons are a very good team. They're in shape. They run the court very well. They're very fast. It's hard to contain them. Well, and as I say that, the Pima Rough Riders, they contain them in the transition. Well, and now they're coming back themselves.
Ella Wilbank just hit a Comfort Fit Dentures 3-pointer, and that was kind of a little bit early, I thought, to get that off. But here goes the ALCHESAY Falcons. And one thing ALCHESAY is they're not going to run you a ton. They're going to get up and they're going to be very methodical. But they're going to be aggressive underneath, and they're going to be able to shoot that three. As number 13 puts it up, it's missed. And there's going to be kicked around rebound. Rebound is going to go to the Pima Rough Riders, and that is number 10, Leah Yamas. And she puts it up. Nope. Rebound by Nosey, and Nosey's going to run it. And she knows what she needs to do to take this ball in. As Nosey drives, dishes off to number 13. Or is that number 15?
That was off of number.
That's number, off of number 15, and that's
yes.
Madison Gann.
Well, I live in Pima, so I know a little bit about that team, not too much.
Were they state champions last year?
They were state
That's
champions.
What I thought. So that's
they're back to back, and this would be their three-peat.
Yeah, I thought it would be. I thought it was like 3 out of the last 5 or something.
Something
as
like
they're going to have a long court pass, and that's going to go to Wiltbank, and Wiltbank is going to go, and that's going to be an easy layup. And Eric, that is exactly what you talked about in our keys of the game, and that is you got to lay it up and you got to make your free throws. And the other thing, bonus is if you play defense, that's what the game is all about.
These gals, you say that they're being methodical. They are, but they're being methodical in a very, very aggressive way.
Oh, they're being. It's an absolute. It's an absolute good basketball to watch when both teams are good, and Pima's going to get the rebound there. That is going to be it's going to be missed and rebounded by 13. As lots of coming together at the end of this tournament. Lots of coaches seeing things, and these two teams, I think their coaches have probably seen a lot. So this is going to be for a little bit of pride. As Nosey is going to have a rare miss, and that is going to be rebounded by the center for the Rough Riders, and that is Addie Hoops.
And there goes Gann for 3.
And that is Gann for 3, and that is Madison Gann with a Comfort Fit Dentures 3-pointer. And ALCHESAY is going to take an early timeout, down 8-2. 5:21 left. We're going to take a timeout as well. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
3 locations to serve you: Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com. Right before we went to break, that was number 15, Matt, 3-point shot. And we'd like to give her credit for a Comfort Fit Dentures 3-pointer. And as the ball came back in after Coach Sanchez for the Falcons called a timeout, came back together, and ALCHESAY had a break, and number 43 for the Pima Rough Riders, Addie Hoops, was credited with her second foul. So she's forced to come out of the game as that was number 15 for the ALCHESAY Falcons. That was Cameron Nachu, and she missed both of them. And now we have another foul on number, I thought that was number 20.
For the Falcons.
That was Lavender. It was her first team. And fouls and free throws are going to be huge, Eric, as we go through this game.
Well, in girls basketball, that's just the way it is. And if you can hit your free throws, that's your bread and butter.
Yeah, hitting your free throws and, again, breaking a press, hitting your layups, and that's going to be –
and there's going to be a foul.
They're going to call that offensive foul on Nachu, and that's going to be the second team. It's going to be Nachu's first.
Right.
And so we have 2 team fouls each as ALCHESAY moves. I'm sure Coach Sanchez wanting to put in this press, so Pima going to have to do what they can to break that press. Nice little
they did it.
Shuck there by Wiltbank, and the press is broken, and now we come out as Richardson handling the ball. Over to Wiltbank. Wiltbank driving the baseline. And we got a timeout by Pima, and that's going to be a 30-second timeout. We're going to go ahead and take it as well. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. We'd like to thank Eric Gibbons for joining me tonight and offering some great insight as he or full-time in the Gila Valley.
Pima, yeah.
And so he knows this Pima Rough Rider team, so he's got great insight. Coach Corona does a fantastic job down there. The interesting thing about Coach Corona is his wife is actually the athletic director at Stafford High School.
Oh, wow.
And so Gila Valley connections are like Snowflake Taylor.
Right,
They're just
exactly.
They're just everywhere. So there goes Nosey. Nosey with the drive. Nosey up and in. And
she
that's
did a
2
rebound.
misses by Nosey in a row. Howard's going to be rebounded number 13. And that is going to go drop off, and that's going to be a foul. And it's been a very long first quarter here. A lot more fouls than I expect. And that's going to be 23 whistled with the foul, and that's Kelsey Wiltbank, a sister to Ella, I assume?
I think so, yes. Yeah.
And so that's going to be a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass free throw by number 13. First one is good. And that's going to put Alana Henry in for the first time. Coach Sanchez subbing in for the ALCHESAY Falcons coming into the game. Great shot by our camera in there of number 13 at the free throw. And there's a second one up. No good. Bounces off. Rebound is by Pima. Gann with the rebound up court to Yamas. And the ALCHESAY doing everything they can to try to force these corners, but Pima will have nothing of it on this press.
Yeah, they have a really good press break. They do. But ALCHESAY also, in their last few games, they've been able to press people and get in for the win. You know, and these are 2 different conferences and 2 different regions, too. So
yeah, 2 different classifications. But like I was talking to Reggie about last game, you just don't. 3A, 2A, it's still all about.
Oh my gosh!
That was a great
man. Gann hit that one.
Gann hit that one in a running shot, and that's going to give him a 7-point lead. But Reggie and I were talking about this, and the bottom line is 1A, 2A, 3A. Yeah, there's bigger schools. There's more to choose from. As that's going to be number 42, and that is Abelina Jim, and she's going to have an and one added to her stats as the foul is going to be given to 25, and that is going to be Ella Wiltbank, and that's going to be the 3rd or 4th. I think that might be the 4th team. Yeah. But, you know, bottom line is school, you put your players against their players, and we got to make, you got to make the adjustments, and you got to play the game. And, ALCHESAY might have more students, but Pima's
25 just did a foul on the rebound, which is something you can't do. And
you can't do that.
And then it's unusual to see that happen in this type of a game. It really is. Usually they're really controlled and really composed.
Well, and see right there, you had that corner where if they would have had somebody on Richardson there, she might have been forced into that corner.
Yep.
Now we're going to be whistled for a travel, but you got to stay out of those corners on that press. And I think ALCHESAY is going to get back in this ball game by that press.
I think they will too. But if there's no, and Pima needs to make the adjustments accordingly. It looks like ALCHESAY, they're ready for a press. Oh, not that one.
And that is number 10 for the Pima Rough Riders, and that is Yamas. And she misses. That's going to be rebounded by, is that Wiltbank again?
That's Wiltbank.
Oh my goodness, that's Richard. 22 is Richardson.
Richardson, I'm sorry.
I thought that was. I'm like, Wilbank's doing just about everything. As there's a long court pass, ALCHESAY going to do what they can, and we're going to have us a push and a foul on the side there. As number 13 for the Rough Riders, Kylie Mattis is going to check in for the first time today.
Yeah, Kylie has a brace on her knee. I'm not sure what type of injury she sustained, but these guys are not. These gals are not. They're not taking a rest. They're in it.
They're absolutely in it, and they seem to kind of embrace this grind, and both teams seeming to embrace. Hey, we're playing the best team out of this bracket in this tournament, and this is the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass free throw, and that is missed by Jim. Jim missed the first one. 12-5 here. 2:58 left in the first quarter. A very long first quarter of this game.
A lot of whistles in this.
A lot of whistles in this first quarter, but that's okay. The boys' game slated to start at 6, but just by the way this first quarter is going and a little bit late start, I don't think it's going to happen.
No.
As that is number 13. I don't have her on my roster, and we're going to have us a jump ball. The alternating possession is going to favor the Pima Rough Riders. 12-5 here. 2:52 left. A lot of whistles in this first quarter, but not a sloppy game.
No.
I would say an aggressive game, but there has not been very much sloppy play at all. Is that Wilbank going to deliver?
Yep.
Wilbank going to throw it up to Richardson, and that's going to end up in the hands of Mattis. Wilbank over to the top, and that's going to be Richardson back at the top. And number 10, actually kind of lost it and dished over to Richardson. And ALCHESAY is going to take a full timeout. We're going to take it with them. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Want to go fishing? Head to Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. They have fishing supplies, outdoor fishing attire, and fishing gear. Plus all kinds of bait including live worms, flies, and lures. The staff are experienced anglers, and they can advise you on what you need, where to go, and what type of bait the fish are biting on. Plus, pick up your fishing, camping, and boat permits. When you think fishing, think Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. Located on Highway 260, 1 mile before the casino.
Welcome to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Got a fan that's taking pictures of us here, Brody.
Thank you. We're broadcasting out to the Apache Reservation down in the White River area, the ALCHESAY Falcon faithful, and also hopefully some of you in the Gila Valley have picked up on our broadcast. And we like to thank our sponsors, as there's a nice little, I'm going to call that an interception by Wilbank, long court pass, and that's going to be a turnover, and then a turnover right after that.
You know, it's funny sometimes how that happens in high school basketball. It's just the way
especially
it is.
Girls basketball. it seems to happen. As that's going to be not Wilbank. No. Excuse me. That's going to be Greg. Ramona Gregg, bring it in. That's going to be a long court pass, and we're going to have us a finish by number 25 of the Falcons. That's Ramona Gregg. Ramona Gregg, fantastic player. You know, the focus is always Jocelyn Nosey, but Greg has been a solid staple as I've watched the Falcons over the last couple of years. Done a fantastic job. I've been able to watch the Pima Rough Riders a couple times too, and gosh, these are just both two great programs and great teams, and fitting for a tournament beginning of the year to have these teams playing in a championship. Nice little fake there by Richardson, or that was actually that was Mattis maybe.
I think that 12. Was.
That was that's Allred. I'm getting my Allreds and my Mattis is confused. I apologize. As this is going to bring Hoops back into the game. As there's the dead ball, Hoops is going to check back into the game for the Rough Riders. As we're going to get a foul on 42, which is Jim, and that's a player control foul. Pima over the limit. ALCHESAY approaching the limit as Hoops checks back in. And that's going to put Gann
on the
bench for just a little bit, I'm sure. As Richardson's going to inbound the ball. Richardson to Yamas. And there is Wilbank. Wilbank over back to Yamas. Yamas doing a great job handing the ball inside to Hoops. And I'm telling you what, the little bit Hoops was out, they had to buckle down and play some defense because Hoops has done a great job in the middle. And looks like, though, Pima has shifted into a man defense.
I think so, yeah.
And
I have to say, the communication on both of these teams are just wonderful. Everybody's talking.
Yes, and there's Jocelyn Nosey with the ball, and Jocelyn Nosey going to drive a rare 2 misses in a row by her, but it's not going to be a third miss as Nosey goes up and puts the ball in just under a minute, 14-9.
She said,
with
no,
a 5-point
not
lead.
going to miss three.
No, you know, she is. I have a good friend that coaches up in Monument Valley. He coaches the JV girls. He's a varsity assistant, and he said he's the one that said, you stop Nosey, you stop ALCHESAY. Right. And I kind of believe that now, but I think Greg is going to be a factor going in, and they send Nachu in the game, and Nachu, we've called her name a few times, so we'll see how it shakes out after this very long first quarter.
It seemed like the fourth quarter.
Seemed like the fourth quarter the way we were going. Here. And so 30 seconds left as Pima working the ball, probably going to try to work for a good shot, not necessarily the last shot, and they're going to go for a turnover as 13 is going to bring the ball up the court. She's going to throw it ahead to Henry. Henry back to 13. Double, and she has got away with one. But and she is actually going to get called the offensive foul. So you would almost have rather had the travel than the foul, but it's a player control foul. However, that puts us at 5, which is the new.
Next foul, I think puts them.
But it's a player control, so we're not going to shoot it. So, and that's going to be. Oh, these Pima numbers are difficult to see. So I'm starting to try to memorize faces here. As the ALCHESAY faithful wanted to travel on her. That's going to go and end up in the hands of Hoops. And it's going to be and one for Hoops with 6.4 seconds left. So the foul is going to go to 25, and that's going to be Greg is going to have a foul, and that's going to put Hoops at the line, shooting an and one up 7 points here in this first quarter. This is a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass free throw as Hoops puts it up and in almost effortlessly as ALCHESAY is going to go and send it down, and Nosey with the ball. This could be scary for the Rough Riders. Nosey puts it up, and Nosey's going to be fouled at the end of the quarter. So that's going to allow Nosey 2 shots. The benches are going to clear. Excuse me. They're going to clear. They're going to clear to the benches, Eric. They're going to clear to the benches. The foul's going to go to 13. However, that starts over a new 5. And so Nosey's going to shoot 2, and 0 seconds left. So we're going to keep it here while Nosey shoots her Mountain Mobile Auto Glass free throws. I don't want to sound like a White Mountain homer here, so we're going to have Nosey. Of course, Nosey puts up the first one. It is good. After Nosey shoots her second one, make or miss, her Mountain Mobile Auto Glass free throw, we're going to take our break. Nosey up and no good at the second one. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
3 years now, Greg and Nosey. Welcome back to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com. I'm Aaron Hewish along with Eric Gibbons coming to us, broadcasting this championship game of the Round Valley Round Ball Shootout. Say that 3 times as fast as you can.
This has been a great tournament, I had such a good time coming up here. I'm from Holbrook originally in Joseph City. So coming here, I've seen a lot of people I grew up with, and it's been great. So, and the inbounds into 13.
Holbrook and Joe City. So did you graduate from Joe City?
I did.
A
long time ago.
Well, the first class was like 1973, so that's been a while because I have an uncle who I believe graduated in that first class at Joe City. So one of those unique things. But Holbrook's been around for the ages.
Oh yeah, forever.
There's number 13 for ALCHESAY. She's being guarded close by Yamas, and
we're
going to have a double dribble on her, and so that's going to go a turnover, go back to the Pima Rough Riders. So, you're from the Holbrook Joe City area. That means basketball's. That was you graduate back in the day when Joe City and Holbrook were. We
were big rivals.
Holbrook was just good at a lot of things, and Joe City followed suit.
Yeah, we played Holbrook usually in the Christmas tournament in Holbrook. I don't know if you remember when they had that
don't
big
actually.
I'm
not from the area.
Okay. I graduated in '83, so I mean,
Okay.
back and then we played them in Holbrook and it was a big. If we played them, it was a big. It's kind of like the stands were filled in the old Mike Starr Gymnasium, which in my estimation is the best gymnasium in the state.
That gym there is, as we can turn it over to the video right here. We talk about Holbrook's gym because this is great. That double-decker gym, those are just so gone out of style that when you go watch they call it the back gym in these games, but you go watch a freshman or a JV game, as Nosey's going to get
picked
wow,
off.
She's going to almost have a turnover, but she turns it back over, and it's going to end up eventually in the hands of Wiltbank. Those old double-decker gyms, the school I worked at before I moved to Snowflake had one of those, and it was just a great place to watch a game. And you have that student section up there going nuts as Yamas is going to shoot, and they are calling that a three-pointer. Yamas is going to put 2 more, and that's going to extend the lead to 10, as that's going to bring Kelsey Wiltbank to check back in for the Pima Rough Riders. As Nosey has it, nice around the back.
Dang,
wow,
that was a beautiful move.
That's why Jocelyn Nosey is what she is. Some great, beautiful ball work around as we had Yamas with that Comfort Fit Dentures 3-point shot as the ball ends back up in Wiltbank, and Nosey's going to take it away, and Wiltbank's going to be whistled for the foul. Whistling it pretty close, 25, and that's going to go against Wiltbank, and that's going to be the first team of the quarter. And yeah, I love the character of those old gyms a lot. But you look at the end sphere here. There's some character here.
Oh yeah.
You go to some of the other play. It's just great. So to hear that and hear about. I never actually witnessed a varsity game in there. As Henry is tripped up by the Rough Riders off the edge, and the ALCHESAY faithful wanting a foul, but Wiltbank going to bring it up over to Yamas, and that is over to, man, those Pima numbers are dark. It's going to end up to Hoops. Hoops back to, I want to say that is Richardson. And
they're going to call her.
They're going to call Richardson
her.
with.
I think they got her with the travel, or I don't know what they got her with.
Unless it was a violation where she was out of bounds.
That could have been.
And the coach is maybe saying, so that's going to bring Greg out of the game, and that's going to check in Jim for the Falcons.
Yeah.
And you're right about this tournament. There's been some tournaments over the years. I believe Blue Ridge has their Christmas tournament still, and we're probably going to be covering that one a little bit for you. I think Holbrook used to have theirs, and that I think ended in the early 90s.
Yeah, I don't know when they made the transition to their newer gym, but yeah, I was fortunate enough to play at Mike Starr.
I want to say Munoz is early 90s as well.
Yeah, Munoz Stadium.
Gym, and that's Nosey. Nosey's going to go. Nosey's going to be fouled. What's going to be here is if they're going to call that on Hoops, that is going to be Hoops' third, and that's going to put her on the bench. They're calling that on Addie Hoops. That is going to be her third personal, second team. And Coach Corona is going to have to do something here.
He's not happy.
He's not happy at all.
Very animated right now.
They've got their bench. So Coach Hoops, it's her third. So he's going to send number 13. He's going to send in Mattis for her. Mattis is going to check in. And this is going to be a Mountain Mobile Autoglass free throw by Jocelyn Nosey, who cuts the lead to 7. Nosey hits the ball, top of the key, or Mountain Mobile Autoglass free throw. Nosey looks up, and it is good. She hits her second, cutting the lead to 6. Wiltbank with the ball. ALCHESAY pressing, and
no, she carried the ball.
She carried the ball, and that is going to go be a turnover by Wiltbank. Back over to ALCHESAY.
No.
Down here to this one. That's going to be number 20. We're just helping Jessica Schmidt check in there. She checked in at our table and didn't realize, hey, we're not the important people. We're just the people talking.
Exactly.
And Leah Lupe, I don't want to get her name wrong. Please, somebody can help correct me on that. Brings in the ball. It's her first action of the game. Jocelyn Nosey at the top of the key. Now she brings it out to the true top of the key. Dribbles it between her legs. Loses it a little bit. Jocelyn with some great footwork. Jocelyn going to go. Dishes it off. And we're going to have a loose ball. And it's going to be controlled. And no, it's going to be whistled as a timeout.
And we have Pima has control.
Pima did have control. We didn't get the jump ball, so Pima's going to call a 30-second timeout. We're going to take a 30-second. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Welcome to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. The Pima Rough Riders up on the ALCHESAY Falcons 2014 with Pima with the ball. Before we get going into the action, we can turn it over to our video. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors, not only all our sponsors, but our technical people that have been through a lot to make this tournament work, as that's going to be a travel and that's going to be their turnover for ALCHESAY. Making this tournament work, all the volunteers from the ladies doing the hospitality room to the tournament director, the athletic director here at Round Valley High, the dome director here at the Round Valley Insphere, the clock workers, the book workers at the table, along with the officials. I can't even count the number of officials that have worked multiple games over these 3 days. We'd like to thank our officials on this game. We got Jake Udall, Quinn Ashton, and Cale Miller, who are doing a fantastic job and calling this game very close, very tight, the way a championship game is expected to be called. As Pima with the ball, and ALCHESAY has actually ramped up the defense, Eric, more than I thought they could. As that's going to be a pass over to Richardson. Richardson, a 10-foot jumper, no good. And Richardson's going to try to get a rebound, and they're going to be whistled. We're going to get a foul, and it looks like it's going to be a foul on 42, and that's going to be on Jim. So Pima is going to have the ball underneath their own basket with a 6-point lead with just over halfway through the second quarter.
The Pima Rough Riders and everybody, they're starting to get a little bit tired. I'm not sure. Both teams, their hair's starting to come out. You know?
Eric, let me bring up something too.
See right
Out
there.
of all the subs we've seen, both benches are huge and they are deep. As number 20 for the Rough Riders is off, that's Jessica Schmidt. Jessica Schmidt just checked in a few minutes ago. So these teams are deep, and both coaches are doing a great job after a 3-day tournament.
Nice move by Nosey.
And that was a great move by Nosey. And by the way, that was left side, left hand.
Yep.
Just like they tell you to do it when you're little.
Yep. And she scooped it in.
That's why Jocelyn Nosey, scooped is a great word. And there's Nosey with the steal. Nosey doing a great job of not stepping out of bounds, looking. She's going, and she dishes off to number 42.
She did a head fake
and that
on
is
that pass.
Jim up for two. Nosey credited with the assist, and that cuts the lead to 2.
Nosey did a great move with her head.
Ella Wiltbank looking to check back in for the Rough Riders. Wiltbank doing a fantastic job of handling the ball through this game, helping the Rough Riders maintain this lead. Little bump, but no call as, man, I can't see these Pima numbers.
They got
and we're going to get a foul on ALCHESAY as Wiltbank's going to get ready to check in. We're going to look over and see that number 15 for the Falcons, and that's Nachu, is going to be called with the foul. That's going to be out of bounds. Rough Rider ball. We got to get the sub in. And that's going to bring a sub for Mattis. Mattis is coming out of the game as ball's been given up and in, and that's going to be, and they're going to whistle a foul
25,
on 15.
15, sorry.
And that's going to be Nachu, and that might be her third foul. And that's going to be, importantly, is going to be the fourth foul, which means that the next one, Pima's going to shoot 2. That's going to check in number 25, Ramona Gregg. Ramona Gregg, that's Nachu's partner in crime on this ALCHESAY Falcons team. Coach Sanchez, can't underestimate what Coach Sanchez has done. With that deep bench, that's just not coincidence. No. Coach Corona with his deep bench. And I'm actually enjoying watching the coaches as much as I am watching the players of this game as Greg checks in.
Man, they're up, hands on their hips. They are like, you know.
Well, and you know, most likely these guys came up in vans, so these coaches are going to have to drive to the Gila Valley or to White River.
Yep.
And, you know, that's what it is. And there's a jump shot free throw by Richardson. And, Eric, we don't see that very often, the jump shot free throw.
That seems, and she hit the first one with the jump
did.
shot. You know, she did a really good job. And she actually has a good control on that.
Rough Riders clinging to a 3-point lead as Nosey goes up and loses the ball, but eventually gets it back and sends it over to her teammate.
Actually, that's not Nosey, is it?
Well, she lost it earlier. It was Burnett. So,
sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And the number 13, who I don't have in, 3-point shot, no good. Ooh. And that is going to be off Jim, and that's going to belong to the Rough Riders. Number 42, Jim, she kind of put her hands up like, no, I didn't touch it. But we all saw it, and we have it on video.
Yeah. In a court of law, she wouldn't have a leg to stand on.
Absolutely. You have video evidence. You're on camera.
Probably some DNA on the ball, too.
Absolutely. You know? That's going to bring Wiltbank, who Wiltbank's done a pretty good job of bringing the ball up, and it seems that her and Yamos take that role pretty. And that's going to be a travel right there, and that was a great call by Quinn Ashton, the official, noticing that travel right there, watching those feet, that back foot slid, and that's against the rules, and that is a travel. 21-18, just under 3 minutes left here in the second quarter. I think we're going to have the boys shootout at halftime, so we might have a little bit of an extended halftime.
Right on. for the 3-point shot.
And the boys' game's set to be broadcast at 6, but I don't think we're going to hit that 6 o'clock mark with the way this one's headed and as good of a game. That's Jocelyn Nosey for 3, and that's going to be a Comfort Fit Dentures 3-pointer by Jocelyn Nosey, and that ties it up at 21-all. 2:26 left in the second quarter, and this is where the press is going to play into factor as 3 ALCHESAY defenders collapse on Wiltbank in the middle, and
why did she pass it?
The press break worked. And what's scary about the press is if you can get that press right, you can get yourself a fast break. But with Jocelyn Nosey, you don't really need a fast break.
No.
Nosey misses the ball, and that is rebounded by Greg. Greg misses the putback. It is rebounded by, no, it's not Richards.
No, I think it's 23.
That's Wiltbank with the rebound.
Another Wiltbank.
Well, yeah, another Wiltbank. And Schmidt loses it off, and Schmidt's going to come out of the game, and that's going to be Gann checking in for her. Is this going to be White River ball with a chance to take their first lead of the evening?
That's right.
13 bringing up the ball, probably going to go back to Nosey in the middle. I like Nosey's position because I can't really call her a point guard, but she is playing the point, but she's also doing everything she can to dribble, scoop, and she's penetrating, and she's even gotten some inside shots and taken it. We're going to have,
off Gann,
but it's going to be passed by
got her.
Burnett. It's going to be off the leg of Gann.
No, that's a foul.
And they're going to call that a foul, and it's going to be on 10 White, which Burnett's going to be whistled for the foul, and that's going to give Pima a chance to shoot two.
Yep. Shirt and shoot, it's all the same.
I'm talking so much, I'm sure the people at home probably have me on mute by now.
That's okay.
And this is going to be a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass set of free throws here. As we look at the graphic at home, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, as Reggie mentioned last game, it's the place to get your windshield changed here in the White Mountains. He worked for them, and they do a great job. And I read a banner over there by some of the ALCHESAY faithful that says, "You can't stop Jazz, number 5." And right now, as Gann hits her free throw and puts them up by 1, Nosey's going to have to take that a little bit personally because you can't stop her. But she did just hit that 3 to tie her team up, so we'll see as Greg gets the ball. Greg throws it inside, and that's off the tips. That is off the tips of Alyssa Jim, number 23, so that's going to be Rough Rider ball out.
It seems that the Rough Riders do have this break, but they almost lost it right there to Nosey.
As Yamas gets it, and Yamas throws it to the middle, which is where you want to break the press, as Reggie talked about last game, over in the hands of Wiltbank. Wiltbank brings it up and slows it down, which I think is a great strategy for the Rough Riders down. Let's get the ball down. Let's work the shot, do what needs to be done.
She wasn't. The player stopped. I think that was
the other Wiltbank.
She stopped.
Nosey ends up at the ball at the top of the key. Under a minute left.
There's a surprise. Nosey with the ball.
45 seconds left. Nosey running jumper. What would you call it? Would you call that like a 9-foot jumper?
Just a running jumper.
And she puts her team up by 1, and that is White River's. Is that their first lead or second lead of the game?
That's their second lead.
Second lead. As it goes to Yamas. Yamas forward to Wiltbank. Wiltbank up.
Got away with one.
And missed it. You have 2 Wiltbanks, so that was Kelsey. The other one is Ella.
Yep.
As 13 brings it up for the Falcons. That's going to be an offensive foul. And that's not going to be a shoot, but that's going to be 12 offensive foul, and we're going to head back the other direction. What you expect in any kind of a championship game?
Nosey, she can hit anything, and she did that leaning shot.
She's shown us inside. She's shown us outside. The 3,
the rebounds,
the running jumper, she's gotten, I think, 3 or 4 rebounds, and I think one of those was a putback, and then defense and the fast break. So she's kind of got it all around, and right now it looks like she's setting up in the post, which I'm guessing they're going to bring her out, but Greg's going to have the ball, but there's Nosey going down low setting picks.
Yep.
And there's Nosey on the backside. Nosey's actually going to get a pass intended for her is going to get stolen by Yamas, and Yamas is going to miss out 3 throws, and that's going to give the body, and that's going to be 6-5. Nosey with a chance to hit a long running 3-pointer. No, she's not even going to hit a 3. She's put it up, she's off the front of the rim. It's going to be halftime here as the ALCHESAY Falcons lead the Pima Rough Riders 23-22. We're back in a bit as they get ready for the boys 3-point contest. It's a Sholo Forge presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Winning takes focus, preparation, and support. Keep focused on your dream career while saving thousands in tuition costs at Northland Pioneer College. We're here to support your goals and see you succeed. Visit npc.edu to see our programs. An academic advisor will get you on the right path to achieve your educational goals. Northland Pioneer College, expanding minds, transforming lives.
Hi everybody, it's Colleen here at Horn Auto Center, the GMC Chevy store that saves you more. So today we're going to highlight our wonderful used car inventory. This one right here is a 2019 Chevy Blazer RS. With our special, you can come down and take advantage of our $31,418. Right underneath 40,000 miles. You can't beat it.
Hi everybody, check out this beautiful 2021 Toyota 4Runner 4x4, discounted right now to $40,321. Black leather seats, seat warmers, third row, nice running boards, and oversized tires.
Check out this 2020 C8 Corvette with only 6,000 miles, certified pre-owned. You're gonna have an awesome ride, only here at Horn Auto Center.
So come on over to Horn Auto Center on the Deuce of Clubs in Show Low. We got the best selection of certified pre-owned vehicles and used vehicles to choose from, the best in the White Mountains.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable. Always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you. Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain sports.
Welcome back. We're doing the boys three-point shootout of the Round Valley Round Ball Shootout Tournament. This is the three-point contest. It looks like we have, I don't know which ALCHESAY Falcon that is.
No, I think it's Fort Thomas.
Is this Fort Thomas?
I think so.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
I didn't see the front of the uniform. It's Fort Thomas. So we're going to run down our sponsors real quick, and we'd like to thank them again. We have Sholo Ford, Ace Hardware, Comfort Fit Dentures, Deemer's Glass, Summit Healthcare, Northland Pioneer College, Horn Auto Center, and Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. However, it's time for the Honda Ski and Outdoor. I'm Aaron Hewish. I'm joined by Eric Gibbons. And Eric, tell us about the half. I mean, I think we would ignore our halftime show without talking about Jocelyn Nosey.
Well, actually, Jocelyn Nosey is the player the player of the game. She's done, like you say, she's done everything. She's been inside, she's been outside, she's done rebounding, she's gone up, she's done scoop shots, she's done She went from the line to the lane to the right-hand leaners and hit those. She's hit some threes. I mean, what can't you say about her at this point? She's defended. She's caused chaos for the trap.
She went down to the post, Eric.
That's what I'm saying. She has done everything. She's been up top. She's been down low. And any position she's been in, she's succeeded at. And I'm like, holy cow, this gal is doing an amazing job. And she's carrying the team.
Well, and you know, they have a 1-point lead, but not to be negated is we got to talk about the play of the Pima starters. Yamas, Gann, Richardson, Wiltbank, and Hoops. And this might be a different game if Hoops did not get her third foul.
That's correct. I think you're right. And another thing that you may look at is Yamas has been missing layups. She's missed 3 or 4. And that's a concerning thing because those are the things, if you want to win, you got to hit your layups, especially in girls basketball. Your layups, your rebounding, those are vital. Those are not just, wait, maybe we can miss 1 or 2. You can't miss you cannot miss your layups. You cannot miss your free throws. And those are the things that I think that in today's basketball game, in high school anyway, it seems as though the players have gotten away from the skill of hitting a free throw. I'm serious. I mean, you know,
it's turned into shoot the J.
It really has, and the 3-pointer at that. You know.
Well, and that's one thing is people laugh and joke, and I used to be one of them until my daughter started playing. My daughter started playing, criticizing girls basketball and the jokes that come along with it. But the bottom line is, if you can get the girls to maintain fundamentals, they do a great job. I've had a couple friends over the years and a couple friends currently that are girls coaches, and you know, they've been boys coaches. Some of them, they've been successful boys coaches, but there's something about, like Reggie said last time, being able to listen and be able to execute those fundamentals. So anyway, this has been
things.
So okay, let's talk about keys to the second half. Ace Hardware keys to the second half. So what does Pima have to do right?
Okay.
What does ALCHESAY have to do right?
Okay, what ALCHESAY has to do right is stop making turnovers. That's true. That could have been, if they would have hit the layups, how many points would they have in the lead right now?
Oh gosh,
who knows?
At least 8, but probably more.
Exactly. So that transition is to what does Pima need to do right in the transition when they're alone. She was alone. She missed the layup. Those are the things that they need to do. They need to improve the layup and off the transition rather than getting in a hurry. Go ahead and making be patient with it on your move to the basket. And you don't have to score fast when you're on the transition. You just need to score.
So flip that over. And is that an echo for Pima, or is there something that they need to slightly change?
That's something they need to change. I don't think that that's something that they've really done. They haven't really had that issue. Today, for some reason, it is an issue. Smith, another one, a turnover here.
Very. Just kind of
mental errors.
Oh my gosh, that's exactly what it is. That's a great way of putting it. A little bit of mental errors. But as I go through the game again, I'm going to stress that how deep the bench has been for both these squads.
Teams. And how can you say anything wrong about the fact that they got deep benches? And not only do they have a deep bench, these are quality players that they put out on the court. You know,
and that's a credit to coaches building the program and coaching and doing those things. So as we're hoping you're enjoying a little bit of the format of this is they're giving 45 seconds to do the shooting, and there's 3 different racks of 5 balls. And if you notice, the home side of the scoreboard is keeping track of them.
Right.
So it looks like we got a tie here, and young man from Safford and young man from Fort Thomas are 3-point contest winners. And I just think that they got a hoodie out of this, and I guarantee they'll be wearing that on Monday to school. How about that?
I think that's an awesome thing. You know, that's something I got to say about this tournament. I liked the emblem that they made, so I bought a hoodie myself.
Wow, that's fantastic.
You know, and the fact that I've been up here seeing a lot of people and being able to do this was a lot of fun.
And we can't say enough about everybody that's put this on. I have never been here and seen how big it is. We're going to take a break here, and we'll come back and bring you the second half action live. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable, always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right, not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you: Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right, not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Want to go fishing? Head to Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. They have fishing supplies, outdoor fishing attire, and fishing gear. Plus all kinds of bait including live worms, flies, and lures. The staff are experienced anglers and they can advise you on what you need, where to go, and what type of bait the fish are biting on. Plus, pick up your fishing, camping, and boat permits. When you think fishing, think Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. Located on Highway 260, 1 mile before the casino.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com. We'd like to thank our sponsors. Sholo Ford is our overall sponsor for the evening. Ace Hardware with our Ace Hardware keys to the game, and we've hammered those keys to the game. Comfort Fit Dentures with our 3-point shots, and we've had our fair share of those tonight. Deemer's Glass with our glass man of the game. And right now, guys, depending on who the victor is, I think even in a win or lose cause, we have an idea of who we're going to go with there. Summit Healthcare with our injury report, and we have one Pima girl we got a slight report on that she's doing okay, but she is in an ACL-type brace. And we have Northline Pioneer College. When it comes time to tip off your college education, tip it off at Northline Pioneer College with the lowest tuition in the state of Arizona, with locations in Navajo and Apache County. That's Northline Pioneer College. Horn Auto Center with our drive of the game, and we've got a couple of those in mind right now, and we have a player for those. And last but not least, our free throws, and that is Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. If you need your windshield replaced, cracked or otherwise, or get one of those, we're going to call them nasty notes from the men in blue, and you need to get that windshield repaired, you can call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. They have 2 locations, maybe 3. I don't know, and I wish I did, but they're sponsoring our free throws. And again, people, the tournament would not be possible without all the people putting this together, but our broadcast would not be possible without our sponsors. And we're going to continue to try to bring you games throughout this season and be able to provide these broadcasts to showcase these youth in our area. And we are so excited today to have multiple teams from out of our area that we don't normally get to broadcast. We talked about Joseph City, Camp Verde. We hope that those of you in different places enjoy that. And can't say enough good things about this Round Ball Classic shootout that we have. We're going to take another minute, and we're going to come back, and we're going to bring you 8 minutes of the third quarter, 8 minutes of the fourth quarter, 16 minutes of ball, but probably about a half hour of action. We're going to take a minute. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Winning takes focus, preparation, and support. Keep focused on your dream career while saving thousands in tuition costs at Northland Pioneer College. We're here to support your goals and see you succeed. Visit npc.edu to see our programs. An academic advisor will get you on the right path to achieve your educational goals. Northland Pioneer College, expanding minds, transforming lives.
Welcome back to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball as ALCHESAY Falcons get a 1-point lead to start, have a 1-point lead to start this quarter. Both teams electing to go with their starters for the second half. This is Northland Pioneer College tip-off of the alternating possession of this game. When it comes time to tip off your college education, tip it off to the college with the lowest tuition in the state, Northland Pioneer College with the locations in Navajo and Apache County. We welcome those of you watching our game this evening on our broadcast on our YouTube channel, as a lot of people are working some long hours to bring. And let's run down the starters real quick. We got Nosy, Nachu, Jim, Greg, and number 13 for the ALCHESAY Falcons. We got Yamas, Gahn, Richardson, Wiltbank, and Hoops. And Eric, that Addie Hoops being out the last 3 minutes of that first half really affected those Pima Rough Riders.
You know, I was talking to you and I both were talking to Coach Hoops in between this the start of the second half, and she basically said, yeah, that was she got after her daughter Addie, and she said that it would be a 10-point game if they had made their layups.
And
on the breakaway.
You've said it, and then she confirmed it, and then you said it again. It's that fundamental basketball, and not just layups, but layups, free throws, but for whatever reason, those layups seem to be a little bit of the Achilles. As Coach Corona getting a little animated as players. One thing I like about the second half, Eric, is the teams are going on their side of the bench, so it's a lot more fun to watch the coaches because there's a lot more.
There's a lot more discussion.
Yes, as Wiltbank throws it over to Yamas. Yamas has been kind of the quiet player.
Yeah,
and she's very rarely come out of the game. And there's Jocelyn Nosy with the steal. Nosy dribbling in traffic, goes up, no good for her. And that's going to be kicked out of bounds, and that is going to go off Wilbank's leg and is going to belong to the ALCHESAY Falcons as Kelsey Wilbank is going to check in, and she's going to check in for Ella Wilbank as Wilbank comes to sit down. So Wilbank for Wilbank. That's what I told Reggie when we had the Joe City girls earlier.
Right.
They had 3 girls with the same last names, and these small towns, you got cousins, sisters, twins, all playing on the same team. It's just a phenomenal environment. Small school, White Mountain sports. It's unlike. I know, we have White Mountain football and we have Texas football and Indiana basketball, but there's something about these small towns in the White Mountains of Arizona, because it just seems to be everything from even baseball and softball, track and field. Just phenomenal support by these communities up here.
It really is.
And in the end, we're all friends, and we all, but we want to beat each other. I always joke that the Snowflake boys like the Sholo girls, and the Sholo girls like the St. John's boys, and the St. John's boys like the Snowflake girls. So that's just how it works.
That's just
and you
the
being
love triangle of the mountain.
You being Holbrook, you appreciate that.
Yeah.
We have jokes in Snowflake about Holbrook, but we're not going to say them here.
We have the same thing in return. So I mean, when you guys used to have the pig farms out there, so
we still have them. We still have them, and those are.
That's all I'm going to say, people.
I'm not from the area originally, but I've lived here long enough than my own hometown, so it's definitely home. As there's a long 3-point missed. We'd again like to thank Mount Mobile Auto Glass for supporting our 3-point shots, and I'm sure we're going to be calling a few more of those. As number 13 for the Falcons is going to be whistled. That's going to be, I think that's going to be her second. However, it's going to be the first team.
Right.
As yes, it is confirmed by the scoreboard that it is second foul, as that's going to be Gann bringing the ball. Gann's been kind of a silent role.
She's been
not as silent as Yamas. Gann's come in and she has played the starter role. There's Yamas at the top of the key. Yamas wearing number 10 over to Wilbank, I believe.
Gann got it.
And Gannon just got a 3, a Mountain Mobile. No, excuse me, a Comfort Fit Dentures 3-pointer.
That's right.
And you know how we can remember that? A 3-pointer in a game could just take a bite out of the competition. That's what we're going to say.
You got 3 teeth left and you need the dentures.
And Eric, more importantly, that gives us a 25-23 lead for the Pima Rough Riders. And I suspect nothing less as number 15, and that's not you, and number 42, Jim, are going to check in for the Falcons. And we're actually going to have another sub. That's Henry's going to check in. So Coach Sanchez is doing a little bit. I don't know if it's hey, we're this far through the quarter, we're going to run into that, but bottom line,
made the decision and pulled the trigger.
And there's Richardson in the middle for Pima. Richardson wearing number 22 out to Gann. Over to Yamas.
Back to Gann and then inside.
Bend again, drive. There's Hoops. Hoops just cannot get the ball underneath like they want her to. In fact, they're actually using Hoops almost as a decoy, and there's a missed 3. That's a rebound by Richardson. Richardson puts it back, and that is good.
Man, what a move, huh?
That was a great move by Richardson to put it back up. And it looks like, and I'm not sure they're doing this on purpose, as the ball's going to be knocked away and belong to the Rough Riders. There's going to be a trap there, and we're going to get a foul on number 15 for the Falcons, and that's not you. And I don't think they're doing this on purpose, but at the last 2 drives down, they haven't been able to get the ball to Hoops, so
Yeah.
One thing I saw about Hoops there is she came out from, and as they drove, they couldn't give her the ball, so she actually flipped sides of the court. Although there's a Hoops, and Hoops goes up. Oh, double bounce off the rim, rebound by the Rough Riders. Eventually kicked out. Now it's rebounded by the Falcons. As she gets it, as Jocelyn Nosey ends up with the ball, brings it out to the top of the key. Nice screen set, Nosey inside. Nosey collapsed on, so Nosey dishes, but the ball is lost to the Rough Riders. That's going to give Yamas a fast break, but Yamas started by Nosey, and Nosey is going to get the ball, get the turnover, and that's going to be a loose ball, and it's going to go to the Falcons, but Nosey definitely had her hand in it. Can't say enough about that last drive by Nosey. And I know it seems like we're talking a lot about Jocelyn, and you're like, well, Pima's up in this game. Pima's just doing this as a team effort. So we're going to do what we can to stress that is between Gann, both Wiltbanks, Yamas, and especially Hoops. They're just doing a great job. I forgot about Gann. I said Gann. And that's going to be a travel, and that's going to belong back to the Falcons. 2:56 left. Pima with a 4-point lead, 27-23 on the ALCHESAY Falcons. In this, the Round Valley Round Ball Shootout Basketball Classic. I think I've said probably about 6 different names for this tournament.
Make it 7.
Make it 7.
Oh.
And there's going to be a trip, and there's going to be a foul, and that's going to actually go as a 2-point shot.
Yeah. Like you said, this is a team effort on the Pima side. I mean, who do you say is stepping out and stepping forward?
No,
they're all doing it.
They're doing a deep job. Wiltbank's the starter, and she's getting ready to check back in as that first free throw by Henry is made. And Wiltbank is going to check in for other Wiltbank. And so this Pima team, and you know, they're not the same team without Hoops on the court.
No.
And that's one of the things that I've seen the most of is that they're back to a 2-point lead right now. ALCHESAY's cut the lead, and ALCHESAY with the press, and Henry's going to get the ball back, and that's going to be given to Nosey, and Nosey's going to flip it up, and I believe that is number 25 for the Falcons, and that is Ramona Gregg. We've called her name a few times, and the ALCHESAY crowd.
Guess what the turnover came off? A tip by Nosey.
Yes.
That's why it went to Gregg.
And we're going to get a timeout here. We're going to take it as well. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Arno. I might not be comfortable on the basketball court, but I promise, at Comfort Fit Dentures, you'll feel comfortable. Always.
Comfort Fit Dentures has dentures starting at $499 with payment plans, and they have 2 labs, meaning you get your dentures in days instead of weeks. Call Comfort Fit Dentures today to schedule a free exam and x-ray. 928-888-0002. 928-888-0002.
Welcome back to Shola Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as the Pima Rough Riders are going to inbound the ball after taking a timeout as ALCHESAY looks to press. And, you know, one thing I'm not sure, Eric, as we move through this game is, has Pima played in front of a crowd like this?
I don't think so. Well, actually, yeah, Fort Thomas, they get the same type of crowds. And
right.
We play Fort Thomas, so
but
yeah.
For these
not
girls
like
this year,
this is level.
Oh yeah, for these girls
more.
this year, it's going to be huge, and I love the atmosphere as ball's been tipped away, and that's going to belong to the Falcons, and that's going to be Henry is looking, now Henry's going to bring it back and set it up, and she's looking, dribbling the side of Gregg and Nosey, and she's going to have it taken away by Yamas. Yamas up the court, left side, left hand, layup, and that is good. And now it's 29-27, Pima back on top as Gregg almost stepped over the line there, as it's going to be over to Henry. Yeah. And I want to say they're going to look for Nosey to bring it over, which sure enough, she's at the top of the key. And they're guarding Nosey. Yamas is going to stick to Nosey. Nosey drives, Nosey off the hoop, and that's going to be a jump ball. And possession is going to belong to the ALCHESAY Falcons.
Yeah.
You know that movie Hoosiers with Gene Hackman?
Right.
It's kind of what they told Yamas at halftime. Stick to him. I want to, like you're chewing gum. By the end of the game, I want to know what flavor he is.
Hey, we'd like to do a little shout out to Nate Antonio here. He's watching us on 106.7.
Oh, good for him. You know, you love Nate because he does the music at the ALCHESAY football games, and he does it for the kids. And that's what's great about the. I bet you a lot of these people don't even have a relative in this game. They're here purely to watch basketball, and they're here to support the kids.
They can't have that many kids at the school.
Oh, I know, and it's just great because they just are here to support their club. Home, away, you know, it's probably a little over an hour to get here, and it's just fantastic. And for Pima, I'm absolutely embracing this because for them, and I believe Henry's going to grab that. Henry's going to take it, and she's going to give it to Nosey. Nosey with the drive. Nosey underneath to number 23, and that is going to fall. That is going to be number 23. That's going to be Alyssa Jim with the 2 points. But if I'm Pima, I am absolutely sucking this in because this is what I need to see, and this is the crowd I need to play in. As there goes the ball over to Yamos, back over to Wiltbank. Wiltbank, uncontested three. No good. Rebound by,
Wiltbank.
is that Richardson or other Wiltbank? And that's going to be good.
No, Richardson.
Okay, that is Richardson. 21 seconds left, tied 31-31, as Greg's going to bring down the ball, and Greg looking for who other than Jocelyn Nosey. Jocelyn Nosey down the court. That's going to be a little jump ball, and that is going to belong to the Rough Riders. And I think Coach Corona is going to say, guys, let's play for this last shot right here.
Absolutely. There's no need to rush it. They got 13 seconds, plenty of time to bring it down and set a play. No need to rush it.
There's Hoops with the ball. Hoops with a chance to have the last shot. She's probably going to give it over to Wiltbank. Wiltbank, chance to shoot. Wiltbank steps inside, puts it up, no good. We are going to go to the fourth quarter tied 31-31. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as we start the fourth quarter, knotted 31-all. However,
Northland Pioneer started the quarter, right?
What's that?
Northland Pioneer College.
Northland Pioneer College tip-off to start the quarter as ALCHESAY is going to get the alternating possession. And I see on the board that number 23, and that is, I believe, Wiltbank, has 4 fouls. And we get a fresh start on the team fouls as that's going to be off the mark. Greg tried to no, that wasn't Greg that tried to rebound that. That was Jim that tried to rebound it, and that ended up in the hands of Wiltbank. And Wiltbank, close one. Wiltbank for 3, no good. Off the mark.
Actually, that was... Actually, that's Kelsey Mattice who made that 3-point shot.
Oh, okay. 31-31 all. As you know what, as those first 2 quarters went, Eric.
Yeah.
That third. Oh my gosh. Jocelyn Nosey. Okay, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that might be our Horn Auto Center drive of the half right there. As that puts them up 33. Pima's gonna throw it away, and that's gonna belong to the ALCHESAY Falcons. Up 2 points, 7:05 left, and they are in control right now.
Yes, Pima needs to gain control of their chaos, bring it in, and ALCHESAY just needs to keep doing what they're doing because they're doing it right.
Listen to this crowd because they're not chanting Pima Rough Riders. No. They're saying ALCHESAY. And when, okay, so we're going to mark that. It was 7 minutes left. Jocelyn Nosey with the drive because that was definitely in line for our Horn Auto Center.
Drive of the game, absolutely, without a doubt. Jocelyn just lost it.
Well, and she
has done everything.
She was about 6 feet away and just kind of laid that in with her fingertips.
Just a scoop. She scooped it up and in, and it was a beautiful move.
There's Pima. That's Richardson driving. Richardson in. And Richardson just had about a runner-up to the drive of the half.
Yes, absolutely.
And that could be in line.
Actually, that one was contested, and she made it.
That was pretty good. And now we have a travel, and we're tied 33, 6.5 left. Other Wiltbank's going to check in for Mattis? Yes, Mattice.
Yeah.
I'm saying that wrong.
That's all right.
There's
Yamas. For me, it's not my name.
There's Yamas again with that ball, and there's that quiet leader, and she's going to be whistled for a travel, and she knew it. Everybody in the crowd knew it. And
now even Nosey's calling infractions.
Yeah.
She pointed at that
She pointed at that one. We got Leah Lupe checking in for the Falcons, and she had some minutes at the end of the first quarter and played some great defense to keep Pima down. She's going to bring it into Greg. Greg going to look over, and this is the point where you got to decide, coaches, who you want in the game.
Right.
And that's going to be a steal. There's Yamas again.
She's not.
And Yamas is just having a rough time handling the ball right now. But guess what? Now she got the ball away. Not a chance to score. That's a turnover. Even though she turned it over,
exactly,
she gets to bring it back, and that's going to be Greg out there. 6:07 left, knotted at 33. And I'm not even going to call this a hostile crowd. This is a fun crowd because they're cheering on. Anytime Pima gets the ball, they're not booing. They know good basketball in White River, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
ALCHESAY faithful. I went down there for a few football games this year, and you just can't hear them in football like you can in basketball. They're great fans down there, and they love supporting their Falcons.
Right.
And there's Greg. Greg seems to be, they want to look for Nosey, and there's Nosey down below, and they're going to whistle Yamas on a hold on Greg, and that is going to be their first team foul. That's going to give Yamas Yamas, me. That's her first or second.
It's her first.
But that's the first team foul, and that could play a huge factor as free throws are going to be going. There's Jocelyn Nosey, guarded by Hoops. Now that's a matchup we didn't expect to see, and that's going to be a foul called on ALCHESAY, and that's going to be on 15. That's Nachu, and that I think is 5. And that could be big because Nachu not only is a starter now, they have Jim, who they put right back in, and they have Alyssa. I believe Alyssa Jim's out there on the court. She's 23. So Pima inbounds the ball.
Multiple gyms here.
Yeah, multiple gyms. That is Wiltbank and Hoops.
You hate to see that.
Oh, absolutely. You want to see a bunch of clean basketball, so the best team ends up with it. But how about the matchup right there between Nosey and Hoops?
That was good.
That was just fun. Now here's Nosey, and they're
going to call her again.
And that's going to be Yamas again. Yeah, that's going to be her second. That's going to be the team second. And that's going to be okay, they're going to set this up. Pima's going to move into
they're going to do a stack
zone stack, yeah. And ALCHESAY is going to, so they're just trying to make sure they get the ball in.
Right.
There's not really a lead to protect, so you gotta move it to the score. ALCHESAY plays in the 3A, which uses the shot clock, so you got to think that these girls are gonna. Oh my goodness! There's Nosey with a fake. Nosey with a layup and in. What I was saying, Eric, is that ALCHESAY plays in the shot clock, so I think there's going to be a little bit more sense of urgency to get the ball up, because that's going to be tossed, and that's going to be a foul. It's going to be off the tips of Wiltbank, and it's going to be whistled a foul, as this crowd is absolutely into this game. And as we're going forward,
when ALCHESAY's in the finals, man.
It doesn't matter. They played some great basketball, but this is what you want to see. These two teams. You want to see these two teams here, and you want to see them duking this out to end the game. Again, we welcome those of you in White River and those of you in the Gila Valley, and just those of you basketball fans tuning in. I know a couple of my friends have texted me and said, we can hear you. We're listening from wherever.
I think it's Ella Wiltbank and Kelsey Brimhall. I think we got them backed up. I got a shout out to JJ Alder.
So who am I?
I'm not sure. I'll get it straightened out.
Okay, yeah, just let me know, because
Matthijs is coming back in.
Matthijs is getting ready to check back in. But what we want to, folks, if we had a mistake, we are sorry. But it's the information we were given, and that's okay. As Pima is fighting for every bit. Pima's down 2, and this is Richardson, I believe. Yeah. Richardson over to Yamas, and it's knocked out by number 30 for the Falcons. That's Lupe, and that's now going to belong to Pima.
Yeah.
And so Coach Sanchez given them a formation, which I believe is going to be an inbound play. I look for this inbound play to go to Hoops. Great shot by our cameraman there as we're going down, and that's Wiltbank, Richardson, or was that Richardson to Wiltbank?
Richardson to Wiltbank.
And that's Richardson up at the ball, and Richardson off the mark, and Richardson going into Jocelyn Nosey, and a little bit of contact there by Richardson. As all these, wow, that's going to be 5 fouls on Pima, and that's going to put Jocelyn Nosey at the line, I believe. What I was going to say is, even though I see some bodies hitting the floor, I don't feel like this is out of control in the least. I feel it's aggressive.
It's not a malicious move. It's just
absolutely
they're just coming
not.
together. It's quick little contact.
It's great basketball.
Yeah. And I like the fact that the refs are actually letting them kind of play a bit here.
This is a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass free throw by Jocelyn Nosey and a miss by Jocelyn Nosey. She's missed a couple at the line today. 35-33 with we're halfway through the fourth quarter, and we're going to stay buckled for a good one today.
She hit the second
one. That's going to give them a 3-point lead, 36-33.
Just over halfway through the the fourth quarter here, as they bring it up the middle of the court. Goes Richardson. Richardson uses the screen and loses control of the ball.
Eric,
to the Falcons.
Eric, I decided to bring up our comments on our page here, and I've got an update from the Pepsi tournament, and this is that the Sholo Lady Cougars are leading the Flagstaff Eagles 27-23 at halftime, and that Flagstaff Eagles is a great program.
Wow.
They were state champs, might have even been last year. It was either last year or the year before.
Wow.
So Sholo Lady Cougars are up on that Flagstaff Eagles team as, whoa, that's a nice Jim
foul.
Gets, but hey, that is a nice foul because Jim was going to put an easy two.
Absolutely.
So what can we say about the competition in the 3A is right now it's going to go through two places. That's ALCHESAY and Sholo.
Right.
And you got to wonder, I believe they've played or have played, and I think Sholo came out victorious. And you can't count out anybody. This is a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass free throw, folks. You can't count out Holbrook. You can never count out Blue Ridge.
Right.
You can't count out Snowflake because they're going to be right there to make sure that those rivalry games are.
It depends on who shows up.
Yeah, Snowflake lost to ALCHESAY earlier. I believe they and Sholo may have played, and I can look at that, but I'd rather. But so
all towards Pima right now.
We appreciate. Yes, Flagstaff is last year's state champion. And we appreciate you folks at home for helping us out with the broadcast here on italk1067.com. And that's going to be a foul underneath on ALCHESAY, and that's going to send Richardson. No, that's going to send Wilbank to the line to shoot a couple. Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. We're going to take a break here as we are 3 minutes and 20 seconds. ALCHESAY up 36-33 on the Lady Rough Riders.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint now has 3 locations to serve you. Snowflake, Lakeside, and now Sholo. And with over 85 years combined experience in auto glass and over 40 years of combined experience in window tint, you can trust the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint with your vehicle. Call them today.
Just call 536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Welcome back to Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com as Wilbank is going to go to the line to shoot a pair. And we would really like to thank all of you watching and viewing from wherever you are. We saw North Phoenix. Shout out to them. I'm sure other people out there, we appreciate the updates in the score. Looks like our local Lady Cougars are doing a fantastic job as the lead is now cut to 1 with 3 minutes and 17 seconds left. And we just like to thank you folks at home because without you, there would be no point to do a broadcast. As those of you who weren't able to come to the game are missing a really good one of this girls' championship game. One of the comments I just read, Eric, was they should have used the other court just to know how many Falcon fans were showing up. And I
totally agree.
I don't understand why. It's not our place to know, but good for us because we were set up here to begin with.
Right.
And this is what I'm understanding is where they're playing the main court in their season. This is their main volleyball court.
Right.
And it's a unique atmosphere to have down here, and we've got a lot of people up behind us on the ledge watching. There's very few seat to be had as ALCHESAY shooting. They make their second free throw, and that was number 30, Lupe, and that's going to bring it back to a 3-point lead. And who other than Jocelyn Nosey get the ball, knock it out of bounds, still going to belong to the Pima Rough Riders. As the ALCHESAY faithful, very loud. Coach Sanchez over there coaching his team. Coach Corona over here coaching his Pima Lady Rough Rider team. As we'd like to congratulate the boys football Rough Rider team is becoming state runner-ups this year. And this is going to be Yamas for another 2 points, and that's going to bring the lead. But the Pima Rough Rider football team was state runner-ups this year. So Pima's got what they call an uptick of athletes right now, as that was a beautiful shot by number 25, and that is Ramona Gregg. Gregg, not much to say. So, and that's could be and that's going to be off of 42. Jim, and that's going to belong, and that's going to belong to the Rough Riders. And that's going to have 23. Wiltbank is going to inbound the ball as Pima looks like to run a stack inbound play. Wiltbank looking over to Wiltbank. Wiltbank, Yamas at the top of the court, slowing it down. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. Rough Riders down by 3. Pima in the bonus, so if they foul at any time, it's going to be going to the line.
There's another foul.
And that's going to be a foul
ALCHESAY.
on Nosey. They're calling that on 25. That foul's going to be on Gregg. I thought it was on Nosey. And that's
too.
But that is number 4 on Gregg. That is the third team. So free throws could come down to be a huge factor as 13 checks into the ball game. 13, not sure what the name is, but we have her as a starter. Let me check the comments because there's bound to be somebody. Do you know number 13?
Wiltbank banks it off for 2.
For 2 points.
But you got to call those when you bank them.
When your name's Wiltbank, you're calling it every time.
Because
we say Wiltbank, and we call it for her. So there you go. Jocelyn Nosey bringing down the ball, and that's going to be stolen. This is going to be a chance for was going to be a chance for Pima, and it looks like Wiltbank got a little bit of a shot to the head. And she's it's red. It's not bleeding, but it's a – and hopefully she doesn't have a concussion.
There you go.
ALCHESAY up 1 on the Pima Rough Riders. Officiating crew officiating it very tight, which is what you expect in a championship game at any level. Wiltbank for 3, off. And that's going to be rebounded by Nosey.
Out of bounds.
And that's going to be knocked out of bounds by Hoops. Hoops still with her third foul. Playing, I wouldn't say she's playing timid. She's getting to the point now where she can play her game.
They're taking some issue here with.
There's an issue with the clock. We're looking at it and winding it down to 1:44, getting that situated. As I'm going to say, ALCHESAY clinging to a 1-point lead. As we're going to start looking to wrap this up with our Honda Ski and Outdoor post-game show, as we can watch the action here. We'll try to get that so we can make sure to get you the boys' game on time. And in our Honda Ski and Outdoor, we got to pick our Deemer's Glass man of the game. And Eric, just go ahead and say it.
It's Nosey.
It's Jocelyn Nosey. Stop Nosey, stop the Falcons. Although I think Nacho has played fantastic.
Absolutely.
Lupe has played fantastic. Both Jims have played fantastic. And let's not discount Ramona Gregg. And, that was almost stepped over. So congratulations to Jocelyn Nosey for our Glass Woman of the Game, sponsored by Deemer's Glass in our Honda Ski and Outdoor post-game show. The next thing is we got our Horn Auto drive of the game.
I don't know because you had 2 of them.
We had 2 right in a row. I'm going to have to go with Richardson and Nosey because Richardson was good. And we're actually going to keep it here while we wrap up our post-game show, just so we can give you the action, and then we're going to cut after this. We're going to start a new feed. And those of you watching the girls game, just hop over to the other feed and let's get the boys game. Stick here with italk1067.com. The crowd might clear out a little bit, but the atmosphere right now is electric. So, again, we're on our Honda Ski and Outdoor halftime show. We got Jocelyn Nosey as our Deemer's Glass Woman of the game.
Absolutely.
She's rebounding. She's playing underneath. She's hitting floating shots. And our Horn Auto Center drive of the half, we had 7 minutes, and then with 6 minutes and 32 seconds, we had Richardson with a drive and she just was about 6 feet away, and she just rolled it off her fingertips.
She went between 2 players.
Contested, absolutely. As we got a little bit of a violation here, Mr. Quinn Ashton coming over to check it, and that really quieted down the crowd because everybody wants to know what's going on. So
they have to make room for the player.
And they weren't doing it. And they weren't doing it, so that's something. Boys' game was scheduled to be at 6 o'clock. Don't worry, folks. It's coming to you live after this. As Jocelyn Nosey with a 1-point lead, 1 minute left in this ball game, sends it in, and we're going to have a double dribble call on number 23, and that is Alyssa Jim whistled. So this is a 1 minute for Pima. Now, I don't see Pima playing for 1 minute to get the last shot. I see Pima doing everything they can to get that ball up. And it's echoed by ALCHESAY's pressure. So Pima's going to do everything they can, but they're going to have to watch that time stripe, as that's going to be it's going to be Wiltbank bringing it over on the time stripe. No, it is Richardson. And Richardson's going to get whistled an offensive foul.
They got
and
her.
that is going to be a big one. And she's going to be whistled an offensive foul. So it is. It's player control, Eric. So we're up 40-39, and we have the advantage of sitting here, not vested in either team. So my question is, if you're ALCHESAY right now, what are you doing?
Just go to the corners. I mean, really, just let the clock, take care of itself.
You're not worried about a trap in the corner?
No, you're not. Well, it depends on go to the corners and just run it out.
Well, of course they're going to get the ball to Nosey and see what she does. But we're going to get a foul here, and that's going to put Nosey at the line to shoot 2. Up 1 point.
Yeah, it's 22. Yeah, and she's out.
And I believe that's Richardson's 5th. So Richardson's going to, and that's going to give Coach Corona a couple minutes, and he's going to be able to. And Richardson, fantastic job. She of course was our Horn Auto Center drive, and she's played amazing. And
she does.
It is going to be a miss with her. And number 30 for the Falcons, Lupe is checking back in. And that's going to bring in Madison Gann. And Gann was a starter. And Pima is so deep on the bench. We've talked about their team all game.
Right.
That having Gann, yes, Richardson's a miss, but and I look for Pima. Nosey makes both of these. They're going to have to put up a 3.
She just hit the first one. She has one more to go.
She has one more. That's a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass free throw. If they are down by 3, I look for him to get the ball to Gann to shoot that 3-pointer.
Yep,
and that's going to happen. So 45.2 seconds left, and the ball's into Wiltbank, and that's going to be a foul on Nosey.
I think that's her 3rd.
I believe that's her 3rd, but that's going to put them at the line because that's their 5th. And so it's going to really change the dynamic of what's going on here in this tournament, and trying to make every point's precious right now. Every possession, every point is precious. So Wiltbank at the line, and I don't think she's ever shot a free throw, and the noise that is going to be put on her there. And that's our Mountain Mobile Auto Glass free throw. It's up. It is no good. Again, we welcome all of you watching on our YouTube broadcast. Thank you for joining us, taking time out of your Saturday evening to support these youth. Of course, some of you are fans, but some of you just checking out the local scores. We're trying to get an update of the Sholo game as Wiltbank hits her 2nd one, and that's going to be a 2-point ball game. So ALCHESAY bringing the ball up as Greg's going to bring the ball up, looking to get it out. That's going to go over to Lupe, over to Jim, and eventually they're going to look for Jocelyn Nosey. And I bet you they're telling them her.
Just foul.
Except that's going to be good down. That's going to belong to
Pima.
Eric, okay, that is going to be a timeout by Coach Corona, giving everything they can. We're going to take a timeout too. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on italk1067.com. We're going to run down our sponsors here as we get ready for the last 17.2 seconds of this game. Sholo Ford, Ace Hardware, Comfort Fit Dentures, Deemer's Glass, Summit Healthcare, Honda Ski and Outdoor, NPC, Horn Auto, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. I'm Aaron Hewish. I'm joined by Eric Gibbons. We will be bringing you the 6 o'clock boys championship game here shortly. We're going to end ourselves with a good one here as the Pima Rough Riders have the ball down 2 to the ALCHESAY Falcons with 17.2 seconds left. Coach Corona of the ALCHESAY Falcons just using, I don't know if it was his last timeout.
I'm not sure.
I think he has one more. So if he can't get it in, as there goes the ball into Yamas, and it's going to be tipped away by another Jocelyn Nosey up and in. And
no, there's a foul.
There is a foul called. Nosey's going to go to the line at the chance to seal the deal. 12.4 seconds left. As Nosey goes to the line now, Nosey has missed a couple of her free throws, Eric.
She has.
So
going into it.
It's going to be extremely important to get these. Coach Sanchez, and just watching these coaches is my entertainment right now.
Man.
Here's Nosey on the front end of her first, and a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass free throw. We've completed our broadcast. As soon as this game ends, we've had our Honda Ski and Outdoor with our drives of
Corona
the game.
calling timeout.
And we have Coach Corona calling another full timeout. We're going to go ahead and keep it here and talk about these last 12.4 seconds and run down our sponsors. Our Honda Ski and Outdoor post-game show, and that featured our Deemer's Glassman of the game. And Eric, tell us again who that is.
That is going to be Nosey.
Jocelyn Nosey.
Jocelyn Nosey.
And we had our Horn Auto drive of the game, and we gave that to a we gave it to Nosey,
right,
and Richardson, who had very identical.
Yeah.
Nosey's was contested by 2, and Richardson's, but they were just beautiful, airborne, off the fingertip rolls that you just don't see every day. You have to be a good ball player.
Yeah.
Now, I fully expect that both of these teams are going to be playing in an environment like this in the state tournament. It's almost too bad that they're in different classifications and can't play each other. But I think we're setting up a little bit of a girls basketball rivalry here for the future, as Nosey's shooting her Mountain Mobile Auto Glass free throw, and this is the first end, and
second one hits.
Oh,
that's her second. Yep,
her
she
second,
hit 2.
so she get 2. So she gives a 4-point lead. I didn't realize that. I thought it was a first end. As they're going to have to do everything they can, as Hoops is going to put it up, and it is going to be no good. Rebound out. ALCHESAY with the ball, as they're going to go, and the clock's going to wind down. We have a final from the Round Valley End Sphere on our Sholo Ford presentation of high school basketball. The ALCHESAY Falcons 44 and the Pima Rough Riders 40. Congratulations to the Falcons on their tournament win. For Mel and Camden in the truck, Robin and Lizzie on the camera, I'm Aaron Hewish, Eric Wiltbank, my great partner Eric Gibbons. Excuse me, I see Wiltbanks everywhere. Eric Gibbons stepping up to give this broadcast. Congratulations to the Falcons. Don't go away. We're going to be back for the 6 o'clock game. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk1067.com.
This has been Sholo Ford's presentation of high school basketball on iTalk 1067 KNKI Pine Top and iTalk1067.com. Brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Deemer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Comfort Fit Dentures, Summit Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, and Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. This broadcast has been a copyrighted production of iTalk 1067 and Country Mountain Airwaves, a Kopaniki communications station. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of this broadcast without the expressed written consent of iTalk 1067 or Country Mountain Airwaves is strictly prohibited. For more information on this game and other games around the region,